Hello and welcome to our second episode on healthy diet. In this episode we are going to explain why we have such an epidemic of obesity in this 21st century. Consider that people were always fat in history, but never quite in the epidemic proportions that we are seeing today. So we need to ask ourselves, what has changed from, say, the 17th or 18th century? Well, you might be tempted to think, like I did, that it's just that people are idle, they don't exercise, and that they overeat because an abundance of prepared food is there for them to consume. But in actual fact, idleness and sloth have been with us for a very long time, and even gluttony is not a new pastime. So we need to look beyond those simple explanations to discover why we have a current epidemic of obesity. Let's begin. First, we need to focus on what has changed. Well, along came in the 20th century processing techniques, mass production, and an advance in technology. This allowed us to take vegetable seed oils and extract the most dangerous toxins from them, and resulted in the familiar appearance of your mazola corn oil. Throw it out, get rid of it, remove it from your kitchen promptly. So what are you going to do, and why is the mazola corn oil so deadly? Well, it has to do with the fact that we were never supposed to use the oils in vegetable seeds as part of the human diet. And only because we have the ability to do so, chemistry provides us the ability to filter, refine, and produce such vegetable oils, are they even there at all as part of your human diet? Now people, you have to consider the fact that after all those chemicals have been used on the vegetable oil, it is completely rancid. Do you want to be consuming rancid oil? No, you don't want that, do you? So what you should be using is simple oils that are available in nature. You should be making use of coconut oil, you should be making use of olive oil, and you should be eating many avocados. Avocado pears also have a natural fat oil content. None of those simple oils require any elaborate production techniques. A simple cold pressing is all that's required to extract your virgin olive oil from the olives. And a simple squeezing of the other products will really remove the oil without having to resort to all sorts of other methods to get it. Dear friends, the next enemy that you must get rid of is fructose. Fructose is very bad. It is a poison to your system. And the fructose in the familiar high fructose corn syrup is even worse, because the manufacturing process required to get high fructose corn syrup has the potential to produce a product that contains toxins. You have to realize that tasty toxins are the enemy of good health. Okay? So we want you to be prepared to dump not only all products that contain high fructose corn syrup, but we want you to be able to dump products that have added sugar. There is absolutely no need to add sugar to any product. The only reason why sugar is added is one, as a preservative to make it last longer, or two, because people get addicted to sugar and they don't realize how sweet something actually is. Their taste buds and their addiction cycle has been completely ransacked, and now they are on a craving for excess sugar. So the addition of sugar serves two very convenient purposes for the manufacturer. First of all, it helps to preserve the product, and secondly, it also helps to sell the product. Now, the other enemy is excessive salt. So when you have a product that's too sweet, you put some salt in it to sort of reduce the sweetness. And when you have a product that wouldn't sell because it's too salty, you add some sugar to sweeten it up. So these two things, added sugar and added salt, are a major ingredient in many, many products. The salt, you see, is also a preservative that will help to prolong the shelf life of your product. You must make sure you understand why the people are doing this to you. They use the salt as a preservative, and then they add the sugar to overcome the salty taste. And the sugar and the salt together work to keep the product with a shelf life of maybe another year, whereas it probably would only last maybe a matter of months or less if it didn't have all those added components. Now let me quickly explain to you the difference between MUFAs and PUFAs. First of all, what do they stand for? PUFA is polyunsaturated fatty acids, and MUFA is monounsaturated fatty acids. The MUFA is the one that's primarily found in your olive oil and your avocado oil or fat. And the MUFA is beneficial to your system, and we can look at the specific biology of that at a later date. Right now we want to talk about the PUFA. And the problem with the PUFA is that it combines with the fructose to poison your system. So once again, we want to know if you are undermining your health with tasty toxins. You see, people are poisoning themselves through their mouth without even realizing it, because they have a basic, serious addiction to tasty food. Once it tastes good, they don't even bother to look at the label and see that it has 145 chemicals, many of which are known to be actually deadly to the human body. So this is the problem that we find in 2020, and this is why you must be so careful when you go to the supermarket. Okay? So the reasons now, let's keep focused here on the reasons why people are so fat. Is one, because of these toxins, these combined PUFAs and fructose, but also because they are malnourished. Everybody says when you're fat, oh, you must diet. You need to go on a diet. The only problem is that then when you go on a diet, you starve your body of certain things that it requires, and you interfere with your thyroid and your liver. It is your thyroid and your liver that in actual fact can be detected to be having problems if you are obese. But it is not the thyroid and the liver, it is what has happened to them because of your desire to follow fad diets and lose weight by eating crap. That's the long and short of it, people. I have to give it to you really, really laid on thick. Okay? So it's not about starving yourself, it's just about eating what you have to eat to be healthy. And the last problem is probably the least one we can do anything about. It is viruses. The adenovirus has been shown to be a contributor in fat people. Most fat people have that virus. Now it is a possibility that because of their genetics, they may be more predisposed to having it, and the science is not really clear. So virus exposure is not something that we can do much about, but if we get the other things working, we build up our immune system, we lead a healthy lifestyle, and we eat and get proper nutrition and proper rest, then lo and behold, we'd like to believe that these factors will overcome the other problems, and in actual fact, you can work your way back to a good and healthy weight. And we want to help you. We in the Health and Wellness Task Force, we want to help you to be well. So we want you to become part of the wellness program. If you live in the Caribbean, if you live farther afield, even if you live in the uttermost parts of the world, you can benefit from watching this channel as we bring to you subsequent episodes of health and wellness. Thank you for watching the Stephen Mendes channel, and we look forward to seeing you on the next show.